Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here, and we are moving on with the Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered walkthrough playthrough on Hard difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty setting in the game. This is going to be a shorter video in the series, so I've mentioned this a couple times, but with games like the Arkham series, they're a little hard to organize walkthroughs for because the games aren't separated into chapters or missions or anything like that, so you kind of just have to leave it to your best bet to sectionalize the game as it should be played. So I've been trying to do that, but this video, it's a little odd because it's in between two big sections. So it's in between the medical ward and the mansion sections. So this video will probably be titled something like the Batcave or the sewers, and because what's going to happen here is, if you just heard that from Oracle, is Batman a long time ago, he built a Batcave on Arkham Island in case of an emergency, and I would say Joker taking over the place qualifies as an emergency. So, really glad to be back playing this game. I've said this already, but I don't expect this game to get a large view count or anything, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, the game is old. I mean, this is a remastered version, but this game has been out for so long, and they did not, unfortunately, they didn't add anything new to the remastered version. So there's really nothing new that's going to draw in a big audience here. It really just comes down to people who want to see the improved graphics, which, in my opinion, as I've stated numerous times, I don't even think you can call the graphics improved, but that's its own thing entirely. But the point of it is, even if I don't expect this game to get a large view count, I love this game so much. It's probably, I want to say, in my either top 3 or top 5 video games of all time. So whether 2 people watch it or 2,000 people watch it, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be playing this game no matter what, and I enjoy this game. I enjoy making walkthroughs for games, so I figured, hey, why not take this opportunity to revisit a classic and make a hardest difficulty playthrough for it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go around the side of this building here and hop over that wall, and this is where you'll find the entrance to the cave through Dead Man's Point. Dead Man's Point is a spot on this island that is a famous suicide spot for the patients. And what's going to happen is we're going to go through here. We're going to trigger a small cutscene, and then we are going to emerge into the Batcave. So if you're new to this series, welcome. If you're new to my channel, I'll let you know that I like to include all of the cutscenes in my videos, but I don't talk for them. So here we go. Alright, so we're gonna come to the Batcave here, and this is a pretty uneventful video. There are gonna be a couple fights to manage, and you're gonna see later that we are introduced to snipers, which can take a big toll on you, especially if you're playing on hard. But you're gonna come to the Batcave here, and it's gonna go through this little sequence that gives some background to the story, namely what it is the Joker's after, who all is involved, and how we can stop it. So go ahead and ascend these stairs, and I'll go ahead and shut up for this little dialogue interaction.
Dr. Young was heading up a project. It was big, lots of external funding. Here are the last notes she filed. I can't make sense of it. What does it mean?
Looks like she was experimenting on the Arkham patients. This new chemical only barely resembles the original venom compound.
There are a number of changes that appear to amplify the strength of the drug. Multiple references to a Titan formula. Even a small amount could trigger a venom-like transformation in the host, eliminating the need for the storage tank Bane requires.
Hang on. These notes aren't complete. The formula is missing. That must be the secret Dr. Young is hiding. If Joker gets his hands on this, he will create an army of 1,000 Banes.
My God. Is Joker crazy enough to do that? What am I saying? You've got to stop him.
going after her.
All right, so once that little cutscene's over, we find out that we have to go after Dr. Young because she has some involvement with the Joker's scheme here, and we're going to be figuring out what a little later. And so what's going to happen is we're going to get out of the Batcave here, and you know, usually I like to commentate the videos entirely, but I also do like to include as much of the story as possible. So again, even though this is an older game, there might be a couple viewers who have never played it before, and honestly, this game just means so much to me that I would never want to rob anybody of the experience that this game provides. So during sections where the characters are discussing big plot points, even if it's not an actual legitimate cutscene, I'll probably not commentate those sections. So for example, we just learned about Dr. Young, how she kind of has some involvement here, and what's going to happen is we're going to go through these sewers, and after we do this fight, this fist fight here, there's going to be a section where we're getting out of the sewers, and Batman is going to be on his comms with Oracle, and again, more of the story is going to be explained. And so even though that's not a cutscene, there's not really any entertaining gameplay that happens during that conversation, so I figure, hey, I'm just going to not commentate those sections. And that's just a personal preference on my end because I don't want to take away the story from anybody who might be new to this game. Quick tips for combat sections. Notice how when I fight, I try to go in like a circular fashion, and I try to put as much distance between myself and the enemies as possible. So a little Easter egg here, go to this right door and you're going to see a cool scene with Killer Croc, and then we're going to be going to that section that I just mentioned, so I won't talk for a little bit.
We'll find you. Rip your flesh like paper.
Digging deeper into Dr. Young. According to her bank records, there have been multiple payments starting last April until 2 months ago. Then nothing. The payments came from a company owned by Mr. Jack White.
One of Joker's oldest aliases. So, Joker pays Dr. Young to create his army, and then all of a sudden he stops. Doesn't make any sense.
Hey, this is weird. The payments to Dr. Young's account didn't stop exactly. They were declined. Dr. Young put a block on her account.
Sounds like she had a change of heart. She tried to block the payments. Joker doesn't like it when his partners try to back out.
So he decided to get himself back to Arkham, find his formula, and create the army himself.
Exactly.
I've hacked into her email accounts. 2 mails stand out. The first is a resignation letter dated last week. Sounds like she was trying to get away.
And the second?
A message from Joker. Well, Jack White. It's a long thread. She's begging to stop the experiment, says it's too dangerous. He's not listening. Let's see. Random threats to her family, a couple of bad jokes, a picture of a dead baby, and a threat.
Go on.
He says, I'm coming for you, I want what I paid for, and then another joke about wheelchairs, lovely, and a drawing of some kind of donkey.
No mystery why she's so scared. I'm coming up to the surface. I'll find her.
Alright, so we just got a little bit more of the story provided for us. However, if you've noticed what I've been noticing, this game has a lot of bugs. There's a lot of frame rate issues, a lot of texturing issues, and there's a lot of audio issues. Sometimes the character's dialogue is incredibly quiet and you can't hear anything that they're saying. And I put a lot of thought into this. Originally, I was going to edit the audio so that it all came out at a nice level, but then I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep it exactly the way it is, and I do that because I want you as the viewer to see exactly how this game turned out. So I don't want to doctor it up at all. I want you to see exactly what the developers made so that you can kind of give your own opinion as to whether or not you think they did a good job. But so yeah, we got a little bit of story there. So Joker, under under one of his under an alias, he was having Dr. Young do these experiments for him, and then he was paying her, but she started to feel kind of guilty and wanted to back out, but the Joker wouldn't allow that. And so now the Joker obviously has purposefully gotten himself taken to Arkham Asylum, and he's taken over the place, and now he needs to go after Dr. Young's research so that he can, you know, do whatever it is he's planning to do. And so once you emerge from the sewers here, we're almost at the end of the video, you're going to be introduced to the snipers. So what you're going to want to do is use your detective vision, and you'll see these snipers in the towers here, and they will be glowing red because they are armed. And the snipers are pretty difficult, one, because they can see you very easily, and that's kind of a flaw in the game, is that sometimes even if you're not in their line of sight, they'll see you. But also, because you're playing on hard, the guns do a lot of damage in this game, especially the sniper rifles. They are a very, very powerful gun, and they can kill you really quickly. Before you even think you're in danger, you'll end up dead. Now, you know, unless you're going for something like a no-death playthrough, then it's not really a big deal, but it is kind of worth mentioning. You'll see here how I was sticking to the ground instead of flying. They have an easier time seeing you if you're in the air, so I stuck to the ground, crawled my way, or crouch walked my way to the sniper tower and took them both out. And there's usually only 2 in a section, so there's not much to worry about. And then you don't have to do this here. I could have easily snuck past these guys, but I wanted to throw in some tips to the video. Some tips for fist fights is you always want to try to hit the enemies in this kind of like circular fashion. And then another thing you could do is, so you saw there's 3 enemies that are conscious right here, and what I did was I knocked all 3 of them to the ground, and then the last one I did a ground takedown. And if you time it correctly, and because you put so much distance in between all of the enemies by hitting them in that circular pattern, it's a really easy way to finish the I keep saying firefights. It's a really easy way to finish the fist fights quickly, because if you knock down 2 of them, then those 2 will be on the ground. Then you knock down the third, do an easy ground takedown before the first 2 even have a chance to get up, and then you're 1 enemy shorter, you know, a lot easier to do. So we're going to go through this tunnel here. You're going to get attacked by a couple more guys. We're going to kind of stick to the same fashion. Whenever you see these knife guys, you got to use circle or B to stun them, and then you can knock them to the ground. I think this firefight, or gosh, I keep saying that. I think this fist fight actually turned out to be a bit ugly, but you see here how I'm going all over the battlefield. I'm hitting this guy, then I'm jumping across and hitting this guy, then I'm jumping across and hitting that guy. And when you do that, it puts a lot of distance in between you and the enemies. And once you take out these guys, you'll be done with this section, and then we will be moving on to another large section, which is the Arkham Asylum Mansion. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and there's not much more to it than that. I will see you in the upcoming video.